Can you stop sharing for 1 minute?
Okay.
Um, if you are just joining us, I know some of you have problems logging in from the US. Please, I need you to go straight to the comment section, the chat box, and indicate where you are, which city you are joining us from. Please, I want you to go to the chat box, indicate what city you are joining us from. If you are studying at any level, please indicate what level you are studying at. So if you're studying at undergraduate level, just type UG. Those of you on YouTube, thank you. I understood you had some technical difficulties, but I think everybody's now in. If you are joining us today on this special program, because it's not routine, we don't do it every day, please indicate where you are joining us from, one. Two, depending on where you are joining us from, you will be able to walk away with a special present or win some bonuses worth thousands of dollars. So it's most important that you are interactive and you do what we're asking. It's a participatory program, by the way. That means you do things. You don't just come in and sit down and listen quietly. You have to do things because we're going to ask you to visit some websites and we're going to give you links for you to visit. So thank you for those age 8 from London. Thank you from LA. Those of you on Clubhouse. Sorry, you can't see most of the things that is happening because yours is audio. If you are on Twitter Spaces, again, you will not be able to see things. But if you're on Facebook Live, please go to the comment section and write exactly where you are joining us from. If you're on Facebook Live, you can see everything. If you are on Instagram, IG, you can see everything and hear everything. So please join us and participate fully because we want to be very clear about what AI can do for you. You know, what can AI do for you today as things are if you are involved in any studies? If you are involved in any revision, what can AI do for you? And if you are also involved in some form of work, what can AI do for you? The underlying word is do. If AI cannot do anything for you, then you can abandon it. But I can guess, based on the work we've done since April 2008, when we started with neural networks, it was called artificial neural networks then. I can hazard a guess that AI can do some things for you today that you never thought was possible. This is a series that started with the Coronation Lecture Series 2 years ago when the King came into office and we were reviewing technologies and what technology can do for students, what technologies can do for lecturers, what technologies can do for research students, and what technology can do for anyone associated with education. So please type in what you, thank you, PG Law. Thank you for those of you on Twitter Spaces. We are blessed. If you're on Twitter Spaces, you can share the Twitter handle with everyone you have, or X handle is at EIE program. That's what it is on Twitter Spaces. If you're on Facebook Live, is coming out of my private Facebook Live page, as well as the Excellence in Education program page. If you're on Clubhouse, is on my private as well as the public Excellence in Education. If you're on Instagram, is across multiple accounts on Instagram. So if you're on YouTube, is on the Excellence in Education YouTube channel. So I hope everyone knows where they stand. I hope you know where you stand. But now, if you're on Zoom, please go to the chat box and indicate exactly where you are coming from and what you are studying, PG Law. And if you are on Instagram, go to the comment section, because you don't have a chat section, and indicate what you're studying and what city you're joining us from. If you're on Facebook Live, please indicate that as well, because we're going to go deep. We are having a unique experience. Today's hearing and interaction, because it's not a lecture, is a unique experience. That means one in a lifetime experience of showing you what we have done with AI before AI became a buzzword in mainstream media. Long before anybody said anything about it in mainstream media, we used it. And most of the record-breaking results you've seen and you heard from our students are down to AI. I'm just going to share with you. First, I'll share an introductory set of slides with you to buttress some of the things I've said now, because you cannot just begin to use and continue to use grandfather's technology in today's world. And that's what the school system has given every single person studying. Every single person studying, we have been given a grandfather technology. Believe you me. And I had to go on the media, in spite of the hoo-ha, to say that if you today are still using black and white textbook, there is something absolutely wrong with your way of doing things. It wasn't unpopular. We don't seek popularity. We seek the truth. So why did I say using good old textbook is a waste of time? I'm going to demonstrate that today as well. Why did I say using good old textbook is a waste of time? There's a reason for it. Because it's severely inefficient. It's a waste of time. If today you are studying the way your grandfather studied, that means you're looking at textbook. You're not studying, you are essentially doing it in the most inefficient way. And we're going to do, I'm glad that Young was in an earlier webinar with us. I'm glad that Young was in an earlier webinar with us and had tried a few of the things we discussed there. So if you're writing an exam this summer, or you have a submission to make, and you are doing it the same way that you've always done it, or your grandparents did it, you are guaranteed to score far less than our students or individuals that have attended our programs. If you've attended our programs, you will not do things the way grandfather said we should do it. That means reading an old book or reading a textbook, and after reading your textbook, you now go ahead and say, okay, I now want to go and prepare for my exam. If you do it that way, you are very inefficient. You don't know it, but that's what the school tells you, because that's the only options that the school is keen on promoting. The school is not keen on promoting anything that they are not familiar with. So I'm going to show you how our students are able to clean up A-level syllabus in 21 days. I'm just going to share it with you now. In 21 days, people do it in 2 years because they're using the grandfather technology. That's the only reason. Nobody in his right mind should be spending 2 years studying A-level now. If you are doing that, you're doing it because your school told you to, not because that is the best way. Okay, let me go on and share the slide. So, like I said, if you are just joining us now, I need you to please share where you're joining us from and at what level you're studying. Okay, let's go. If you can see the slide I'm sharing now, please type yes in your chat box. Those of you on Zoom, type yes in your chat box if you can see the slide that I'm sharing now. You should be able to see a bright yellow because the future is bright. And then, if you are on YouTube, you will have seen it come through now. It says the Wilson Education Foundation. They are the sponsors of today's program, and they are affiliated with the Excellence in Education program. That's our website coming up now. You've got our email address. If you are not familiar with our email address, pick it up now. You might need it. You might need it in the future. And then the biggest question is, how much do you think this student read? I'm giving you a case study. The Sun newspaper featured a 9-year-old who had already passed A-level at the age of 9. At the age of 6, she took the GCSE. This is a newspaper. This is not a school giving a testimony. This is a national newspaper, and at that time, the largest circulating newspaper on planet Earth. Question: is this child really a genius, or did the child use the genius formula? That's the number one question. I want you to hold that on in your mind. If you think that this child is a genius, please type the word genius in your chat box. However, if you think the child is not a genius, but the child just used a formula that genius is used, then type genius formula. Thank you, those of you on Twitter handle, those of you on X and Twitter Spaces, as they used to be called. Thank you for typing that. Type the word genius if you think that these students achieved this quote-unquote feat because of their innate ability. Type the word genius. If you think it's because they were born genius, type genius. However, if you think that it's because they use the genius formula, then type the word genius formula. Thank you, those of you on YouTube. Thank you. Those of you on Twitter Spaces, thank you. Thank you, those of you on Clubhouse. Thank you. Facebook Live. Thank you. Everybody's coming alive. That's great. That's fantastic. This is why most people get the marks they get. Because you are benchmarked against your school, against your class. You are not benchmarked against the best in the world. So if you're average in your class, some people are happy with that. Or if you are doing well, others are extremely happy with doing well. But some are just happy if it's above average. Oh, I'm above average for my class. Or according to my school, I'm doing excellently well. Others might say, oh, it's below average, therefore we might need to boost it. based on today's standards, no student should achieve anything below excellent. Because the tools you have in your hands, they are sharper and better than the tools your parents had or your grandparents had. However, the standard you are being benchmarked against is the same standard as they. So to whom much is given, much is expected. I just want to pull this up for those of you that are in primary school, or what some people call elementary school. And this is what the official government standard says, that at the age of 7, 20% or 25% of the class will be on level 1. Another 25 will be on level 2, 2A, 2B, and the rest, the brightest, the narrowest of IQ should be on level 3. But if you are a student at EIE, we assume that you are on level 4. So like I told you, excellent is the minimum. Now, you must say, oh, really? If excellent is the minimum, what is the average? Average is that you're working 2 years ahead of your level. So with our students, they are working 2 years ahead of their level at every level. Doesn't matter whether it's pre-GCSE, GCSE, A-level, degree, it doesn't matter. And then, if you are age 11 or 10, depending on what month you were born, you have to be operating according to government standard on level 3. But that's totally unacceptable by us. Why? Because we don't use the same tools. Why? Because we don't use the same techniques. Why? Because our students do not believe in replicating what we achieved last year. They believe in exceeding it. So you can't do the same thing twice. You have to exceed whatever you achieved last year. So please type in the chat box again. Your goal. Is your goal average? I need you to type that now. Is your goal average? Is it below expectation? Or is it exceptional? Because you're going to have a goal for joining us today. If you don't have a goal, then the football is on. You might as well watch the football. So please type in your goal. Thank you. Those of you on Twitter Spaces, thank you. You're fast with your fingers. Those of you on... Those of us on... Let me just switch over the screen to see what... yeah, those of you on YouTube, thank you. YouTube, thank you. Facebook Live, thank you very much. So if you want to exceptional, maybe it says exceptional. If you want to use exceptional, because this is the map. This is what everybody, this is what the government pays teachers to do. You are either in the amber band, which is below expectation, or at the expected level, which is green, or beyond expectation, which is blue, or with the EIE students that are consistently performing at exceptional levels. So this is essentially what we mean by excellence. We are not interested in saying how good we are compared to other students in the class. That's not our interest. We are interested in confronting the real issues that lies behind understanding, achieving top levels all the time, whether they be SAT, whether they be your standard mathematics class or exam, whether they have to be literacy, English, or science. It is easy if you have the best formula to end up with top grades in the languages. It is easy, therefore, to gain multiple scholarships. Multiple, not one, not two, and multiple admissions to the top performing schools and universities. So doing things like personal statement is just easy. It's just easy. And I want everybody to understand that based on what AI is now able to do with our students, we can climb any mountain at any university without it being a real problem. Okay. I'm going to call on Young because Young was on a recent webinar. Young, are you able to join us now? I'll stop sharing my screen. Hello, Mr. Young.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you able to just share your screen with what you've been able to do using only one AI tool after just an hour or so interaction, right?
Okay, yeah.
Okay. So if you're able to share your screen, please share your screen. Yes, thank you.
Okay. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, everybody can see your screen. Thank you.
Okay. So it's very simple, using Perplexity. Perplexity is all about what you type in. When you type in a question, it will give you a summary of that question with a viewpoint and even topics and anything that concerns that topic. It will give you those everything you need about it. What is English legal system? Just a minute. So yeah, you can see on the screen now. I just type what is English legal system. English legal system. It has given you a brief summary about English legal system. Then, when you go to the down part of it, it will give you the different system impact the rights of individuals, and then with different things at the down. So what this Perplexity does, it will give you the clue of everything in a brief summarized form. So like as a student, if you're putting a question, all what you need to do, like let's say for instance now, what I did was the past questions. I go into the past questions and then put all the past questions on Perplexity. And what Perplexity could give me was, a brief summary of everything and, with all the viewpoint. Then, like as a law student, it also gives you sections that concerns the area you are making research about. It will give you articles and also cases that are related to that. So it's just like a brief summary. And when you have like thousands of words reading with textbooks and then black and white printed out documents, but you don't have that understanding. But when you put it here, it will summarize everything for you just within a minute, few seconds, and then without revision, you can just go to exam, and then everyone is struggling. You just write your exam, then walk away. And that is my own testimony towards Perplexity. I just want to say thank you to Professor for giving me the secret. Why? Because I never knew. My first exams, I struggle. Why? Because I struggle. Why? Because reading, and it's not really going into your head. But with this, you can pass all your assessment, your even coursework, presentations, anything you want. It will give you the best. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Young. I'm going to, if you can stop sharing now. If you have any questions on what we've discussed so far, please put the question in the comment section and hashtag at the end of the question is Genius Formula. If you have any questions on Twitter Spaces, please go straight to your comment section and write your question. If you don't write your questions, I will never be able to know what is on your mind. We want to do one thing and one thing alone. Replicate that result that you saw on that slide for a 6-year-old to write the same exam as 16-year-olds. And the 6-year-old scores more marks than 300,000 youths that wrote the same exam. 1. 2. These 16-year-olds spent 5 years preparing for this exam, and ours spent 21 days preparing for exactly the same exam. So figure out how long it will take you to read 30 pages and how long it will take you to read 3 pages. So that then you work things out. Because what Mr. Young was demonstrating to you there was an LLM. I know most of you have heard about ChatGPT, but this is higher than ChatGPT. This is better than ChatGPT. That is able to extract all the information available to humanity. Imagine you want to learn about photosynthesis and you meet one person that has read all the books written on photosynthesis in English, in Spanish, in German, in French, in all the languages. This person has read all of them, has carried out experiments on photosynthesis in the summer, in the winter, in the spring, and in the autumn, and has worked out the best way to communicate that. And that person stands in front of you 24/7. So that's what the LLM is, the ones we've used. And I'm going to show you how we started using this long time ago. It was April 2008. We started experimenting with it. It was then called the neural network. It was called artificial neural networks. So we didn't just wake up one morning and started using it. No, we've been using it long before ChatGPT came on. ChatGPT is just one iteration of artificial neural networks, or what you now call artificial intelligence. I hate to call it artificial intelligence because it's really augmented intelligence. When you say artificial, it means it's fake. But I want all of you, without exception, to take a note of this, and the questions you have about the subject you are studying, whatever you are reading, we need to get to the bottom of it today. So I'm going to do a quick, let's do a quick exercise. All of you on Clubhouse, if you're on Clubhouse and you are on Twitter Spaces, I want you to open a browser. Now, go open a browser and type in the word. Let me share this as I do this for everybody here. I'll open a browser myself here, and I'll be able to share this as well. I hope you can all see this. I hope you can see my screen now. I'm going to open a new tab and get everyone involved in this, because this is the website that Mr. Young was just talking about. Can you see? It goes in perplexity.ai. And what he said is that if you have a difficult topic that you cannot understand, right? You know you've read what you can read, you can't understand it, you can come and use this. Alternatively, you don't need to waste your time reading it first. You can come straight here and get the knowledge, get the concepts broken down for you, and then you can deploy it. Before I go into Perplexity, let me show you something else that most of you will be able to see. Now look at here. If you are on Twitter Spaces and you're on Clubhouse, please open your browser to your best search engine, Bado search engine. I hardly ever use it. I'm only using this search engine for demo now. I don't use this search engine ever again in my life, because why? I got a better AI tool that does things for me. But for your sake, if you type in Professor Chris Imafidon and then type in Princess Diana, it's going to pull you a book. Here is a book. I'm clicking on this book now. Diana at 60, an African portrait, the untold story of Princess Diana. Is that what you have? If you're on this call, please do this. If you don't do it, you will get lost halfway through, and it'll be very painful. Go to your browser now, type Professor Chris Imafidon, and then type Princess Diana. Why am I asking you to do this? This entire book, you will see that it's on the bestseller list on Amazon. This entire book was generated by text from Fireflies. Look at it. I've clicked on it now. Look, this and the content of this entire manuscript. Look at it. I'm showing you the top version of the book. It says 100% of author's royalty goes to African charity, and puts my name there. Look at it. Can you see the logo? Can you see the icon? This entire book retaining and has retained #1 position on Amazon was not authored by me. It was authored by Fred at fireflies.ai. Can everybody see this? When we finish this class, I'll need you to go back and do your research on this. Every single word you read from this book was generated by AI. Why? Because we used Fireflies. I believe if you're a student today and you don't have Fireflies, you are doing things the hardest possible way. Because you are going to go to class and be struggling to listen to your teacher or lecturer and be struggling to take notes. And be struggling to take lecturers and be struggling to take notes. With Fireflies, it does all the heavy lifting for you. It does all the hard work for you. If you're a student listening to me now and you're not using Fireflies, whether you are in your first year of school or the last year of university, you are wasting your time. Period. Nobody tells it this way. Therefore, I have to say it this way. If you ever have any issues with understanding things in the class, or keeping up with the notes taking, or say, oh no, the teacher is too fast, slow down. Or no, I want that slide back. Oh, can I have, I want the last slide you showed. If you ever say that in any class, in any teaching, anywhere you go, it's because you've not used this tool. And it's been commercially available for a long time. Look at it. Look at when this book was published. And then tell me when Fireflies came out. Can you see this? Look at it. Look at when the book was published. June the 30th, 2021. Look at this very carefully. I know you are already doing your calculations and finding out when ChatGPT came. So there are many tools that are available to you, even for free today, that are AI tools. But your school will not tell you that. Your college cannot tell you that, because the curriculum and the delivery of the curriculum is Victorian. We give our students a free ticket to come to Kensington Palace and see where Queen Victoria was born. We're not taking you to the palace so that you can see historical things, or taking you to the palace so that you can take pictures. No, we're taking you there so that you can see how the current educational system, which is not ours anyway, it was designed by our great-grandparents and was designed for our great-grandparents, came into being. We'll take you to the exact room where Queen Victoria was born, and we'll show you the technology that obtained them and what influenced their thinking. So that's one book I just showed you now. This entire thing you are reading about the book, everything was generated by artificial networks, artificial neural networks, or what you call AI now, right? If you're on this call and you think AI does not have any impact on education, I know you're on something very strong, because from what we demonstrated to you now, you see that. Secondly, I want to show you another book on Queen Elizabeth II. I'll click on this now. This book, look at it again, is a Wall Street Journal best-selling book and got a lot of individuals into the New York Times best-selling list. Look at it, this book, 100% by AI. Let me also give you the date and the stats. So this is a more recent book. This was out, this was published, I'll give you details now. Because you need to update your software. If you don't update your software, you will go with very, very odd thinking about yourself. Look at it. This is 2022. On Queen Elizabeth II. I'm going to ask a very difficult question now for those of you that are on audio, those of you that are listening by audio devices. That means you are on Twitter Spaces, and those of you on Clubhouse. I want you to please do me a great favor. I need you to open another browser now and type in ban textbooks. Ban textbook. Ban textbooks. Ban textbook. And then type in my name, Professor Chris Imafidon, and see why I said all textbooks should be banned and what should replace it. See, if you write my name, ban textbook, the first option that comes out is a story in the Times. The second one that comes out is a Cambridge reference. The third one is children are digital natives. This is the one I said first. I said every single young person I've seen so far, every youth, have a cell phone. In it, they have apps. In the apps, they have AI. Why don't we channel all the contents that we are giving out today as apps on AI? Because they asked me a question. Here is the question. The Sunday Times asked me this question. Sean Griffiths, the education editor of the Sunday Times, asked me a simple question. Why is it that the students I mentor at the age of 11 have already passed their A-level? They speak 6 different languages. At 15, top universities are already asking for them. Please get a screenshot of what I'm sharing with you now. Get it. You might need it. Get a screenshot of it. I'm going to show you a video. I'm going to play you a quick video so that you understand some of the things I'm saying today, and then never forget it and never go back to your bad old ways. Never, ever go back to your bad old ways of what the school told you. because you already know why the school is telling you that. They are following the Victorian ways of learning. And it's not easy for the school to change. But as human beings, we are supposed to update our software. Every 6 months, there's a software out that shows you how you can do things better, easier, or quicker. I'm just going to show you a quick video on how AI can redefine everything you knew about learning, everything you thought you knew about learning. At the end of today, I hope you're going to select all and hit delete, because I'm going to show you something very, very, very quickly. I'm going to show you something very quickly. Now,
life to help me understand mathematics.
Can you now use it for other subjects?
I'm interested in astronomy because, like, astronomy, like, what is the distance from Earth to Sun is in miles, and miles are in conversions. Miles you can convert to kilometers, which is just maths. You can see that astronomy is also like maths.
You have a family of child prodigies, is it 4 or 5 children you have?
5 children.
5 children. Is this something that is a passion for you, to encourage other future geniuses too? Are we going to see Francis and Deborah also going to Oxford and Cambridge before they hit 15 or something?
Absolutely. Yeah, I make a decision. Either you keep it in the family, in which case you exclude everybody, or you share it in the community and build our community of boys and girls that will grow up to be confident young men and women, develop and contribute to our society. Because quite honestly, I'm tired of hearing negative news about our community, our boys and girls. If you can build confidence, whether they become engineers or mathematicians or doctors or astronauts, doesn't really matter. But the fact that the talent in them is discovered and developed.
Is it, though, that Deborah and Francis, as examples of the children who are in your school, I know you have many others, is it that they are innately brilliant and you've just brought out the brilliance in them, the genius in them? Or can you nurture this talent in so many
If
other...
you give me anybody on the planet Earth, every single human being has in them deposits of talents. What I'm interested in is exploring and finding that talent so that it can be developed. So every single child that you've ever seen at the age of 4 is a genius. It's only when we are unable to either identify that genius or develop that genius, or our society suppresses that genius for one reason or the other, that's when they now become, failures. Nobody's ever created a failure.
Can this, your model, can it be used in other parts of the world and also for other years? Are there children who maybe are 15 who are in, Lagos or, Lusaka or Lilongwe? Can you also nurture that talent in them?
We have parents right now that are from all over Africa that have gone to our website, the excellenceineducation.org.uk website, that have emailed us, and we just send them video clip, we send them links, and they've seen dramatic improvement in the lives and performance of their children. Before they said, no, you're a girl, don't do maths, or you should do literature. Those are gender stereotypes that have no foundations whatsoever. In fact, if you're a girl and you cook, I can tell you clearly you're a chemist, because for you to mix one solution and catalyze it with heat, of course you're a chemist. If you're a woman and you have to budget for home, you're a mathematician. If not, you run at a loss. So if we break the barriers and say, look, there are no gender preferences in abilities, let every girl hearing me know that inside her there's a mathematician. Everybody is on a learning journey. The only time you stop learning is when you have a death certificate.
I have a dream.
What is your dream?
Well, I actually want to be an astronaut.
So I'll just come on.
You, Deborah? I'll
call it quick.
the feeling
I'll start it.
okay, so those of you that are on Twitter and those of you that are on Clubhouse may not have been able to see the visuals, but I will share this video with everyone on this call. Promise. What you need to do is reply to where you got your invitation from, and I'll make sure that you get a copy of this video. The reason why I'm unable to share everything now is because there's another aspect I need all of you to see before you finish today, and time is running very, very fast and we're running out of time. But I will share that video with you because it's publicly available. Guess where? On YouTube. is publicly available on the BBC website. So you don't even need to strain yourself to be able to get a lot of the information I'm sharing here today, because they are all what is called in the public domain. If you're on this call and you haven't asked any questions, it's time for you to have a quick session now. I'll take some questions and then I'll move on to do one more demo to show you that everything you've heard about, everything they've told you, everything they've shared with you, on especially in the mainstream media, is for entertainment. It's not for education. Whatever they've shown you in mainstream media is just for entertainment. No, so don't take it seriously, because they told you, oh, don't use ChatGPT. Oh, don't use this. If you use this, oh, you may be cheating. This is the biggest education tool ever invented by man. If you are not using AI, you are cheating yourself. You are cheating the person that gave that talent to you. Please write this down. Write this down. I know everybody has a view on this, but I need to provoke you to say, please write this down. If, and put it in the chat box so that you don't forget. If you are studying anything, or you are learning anything, or you are acquiring any skills or knowledge in any specific language today, but you are not using AI to accelerate your learning, you are a cheat. You are cheating yourself. Because that's going to be the last part of this today's segment. Because every single excellence in education program student have had to have this training. All of them. The minute you register with the EIE, you are given a username and a password. And that password allows you to log into an AI-based website where you, without knowing, because it's not called AI, it's called Manga High. Manga, as in, the cartoon character, high as in high school. And we have been doing that with all our students. You guess when? Can you guess? We made it compulsory in the year 2011. Yes, not 2020, 2011. We made it compulsory. If you're a student of the Excellence in Education program, we gave you a username and a password. And we gave your parents, if you were too young, your username and a password. Each student. So if you had a sister, your sister will have one, and you will have one. If you have a brother, your brother will have one, and you will have one. And every week, you went to a place called Manga High, and we told you it was a mathematical game. Go and play games. But behind that game was, you guess it, artificial intelligence. So you play the game and you think you're playing a game, and in 1 week, you will understand what the average 13-year-old takes 9 months to understand in 1 week. 1 week, only 1 week. I think I'm going to share that link. Let me share I'll share the BBC links. Thank you. For those of you asking on Facebook Live, thank you. I will share the link before I leave. I'll put it in the chat box for those of you on Zoom. For those of you on Instagram and Facebook, I will put it in the comment section and probably ask them to pin it. They'll pin it on top so that everybody sees it. For those of you on Clubhouse, I'll put it in the chat. I'm not sure where I'll put it in the chat. I'm sure you'll be able to click through on chat. And if you are on Twitter Spaces, I also put it on chat for you. But I want to go through a session, another session, that will knock the socks off you, that nobody should ever tell you that your current grade is your current grade. If you're on this call, please write your reading speed. If you're on this call, please write what your reading speed is. If you're attending on behalf of a student, please find out what the student's reading speed is and put it in the chat box now. Thank you. Let's go. Put it in the chat box while I pull up another bit of information that will help you. What is your reading speed? Thank you. No idea. Bless you for your honesty. If you don't know, just say don't know. Please don't feel intimidated because it's not taught in school. I'm sorry. It's not taught even in the best universities. I'm saddened to say this. The best university on planet Earth do not teach anything about speed or reading speed. So thank you for saying you have no idea. Now put in there, because I need all of you. Yes, thank you for those on Twitter Spaces. You're saying don't know. Thank you, don't know. Thank you, blessing. Say 10 to 60. What does that mean? 10 to 60 what? Per what? Please put that there, because we have to correct this. We have to correct this illness, this anomaly when it comes to education. We have to. If we don't correct it, we have no right to blame anybody. No, it can't be 10. Are you saying 10 letters per second? Or 10 words per second? That doesn't sound real. Can you check it? If you've not had any formal training or assessment in speed reading, say you haven't. Because 9.5 out of 10 students in the top universities don't know their reading speed. 9 out of 10, or 9.5, they said out of 10. I don't know how they can't have humans. They say they don't know. Meanwhile, every year we put our students through what is called a time-sensitive assessment. That means they ask you to come in, write a test, and then they have an invigilator that tells you you start at 10, and at 11:30 you stop because it's a 1.5 hours paper. Or others will say you start at 10, and at 11 you stop because it's 1 hour paper. How do you assess people in a time-sensitive way when you have not given them the benefit of training, or even exposure, or even knowledge? How do you do that and feel that it's fair? It's impossible. So essentially what we are going through today is looking at every single person that is reading has to understand what they read and have a time lag on what they read. They have a time lag of a time associated with what you've given them to read, but we don't have it as a taught subject. So what I'm sharing with you now, is your number one weapon, so that you will never say in your life again, never ever say in your life, that you did not complete an exam because you ran out of time. There are people that have gone, they knew the answers, but somehow they ran out of time. And that's what must end today. Let me quickly share this with you, and then I hope everybody here sees this now. So routinely we do this for our AI students, but some schools and some individuals that saw the result that we got were very interested in having their students come on. So we then made it available, how you can double your reading speed. And some professionals like lawyers, like politicians, like editors, like actors, found out that they were any less than the professionals we had interacted with. Because if you're an actor and they send you a script to read, if it takes you 2 weeks to read it, it takes you 2 weeks to read it, and then you decide whether you want to take the job or not. But before that time, some of your colleagues that have optimized their reading would have cleaned it in 2 days. The most classic discussion I had with somebody was with somebody that said he had a 3-year plan to read the entire Bible. I just fell off. I said, how many words do you read a day? And how many words do you read a minute? And they said they don't know, but they know they are likely going to finish in 3 years. I said, you can't, except you know your speed. So we now gave opportunity to you. If you're on this now, you can double your reading speed by just avoiding what is called sub-vocalization. To vocalize things. Why? Because in primary school, all of us were taught to read one word out at a time, and we read it out loud. So if we're going to read this, you will say, do you want to double your speed and quadruple your understanding? So we were taught at elementary school to pick out one word at a time and read it. Now, the good Lord that made all of us gave us 2 eyes. It's impossible for you to get your 2 eyes to look at one word. So it slows you down. If you understand binocular vision, that means 2 eyes working together, you can group words together. Like 2 words together, 3 words together to start with, 4 words together, 5 words together, a whole column together, and a whole line together. Most of our students that have done the training group a whole line together, and then move on to the next line, move on to the next line. You, if you've never had any speech training, you still be tempted to read 2 or 3 words at the same time. So we'll show you how to group it up to 5 words, 6 words, or 1 column. Very easily. 2, and one significant fact, apart from sub-vocalization and grouping words, is having a slider or a guide. What do I mean? All of you on this now, if you're on this, if you're on Zoom, or you are on Facebook, or you are on YouTube, you will be able to see what I've just done now. I have turned the first paragraph to be blue. If I want to read one word at a time, I will have to move the cursor slowly so that it's able to pick up the words. Now, if I want to read 2 words at a time, I can then move the cursor. So you use the cursor as a guide to be able to read words. That's if it's electronic. Can you all see what I'm doing now? So the gray area is the unread, and the blue area is red. We'll take you through this. Executives that have gone through this, listen to this. They don't have any unread emails. All your emails will be read. Why? The average speed of an adult for reading materials that they are familiar with, that means like newspapers, they are reading materials that they are familiar with, not learning new materials, in the language that they're familiar with, read on the average 200 words a minute. That's the average reader. But for EIE students that have been on the Genius formula, they read up to 1,500 words a minute. I can do up to 2,000 words a minute, depending on the context, depending on whether it's a soft material or it's a hard material, and depending on what time of the day. Please write this down. If you forget everything I tell you today, please write this down. Your reading speed was not determined at birth. You can increase it through practice and training, or you can stay exactly the way you are now. And some of you are laughing. You know exactly the way you know exactly the way you are now. Some of you have books on your shelves that you bought. 6 months ago, you still haven't finished reading it. 2 years ago, you haven't. You have books that you bought 3 years. They are still on your bookshelf. Why? It's not because the book is not interesting. No, don't tell me that. If it wasn't interesting, why would you buy it? It is because of the legacy of the reading that you were taught in school. So if you're on this call today, I can guarantee you to double or triple or quadruple your reading speed. Guaranteed. 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 Why? Because we know how you read now. Most people read with the legacy of the school system, which is literally the least efficient way of learning anything. The last but not the least, if you are 38 or older and you have been given a pair of reading glasses, if you use your bifocals or trifocals or varifocals, you know, the pair of glasses that have one strength on the top, another at the bottom, you are going to slow down your speed. If you have a wider aperture, wider field of view, you will increase your speed. So there are 32 different things you do to pull up your speed. I've just given you some highlights of these ones now. If you're interested in the speed reading booster, I will send you, or I could share this. Let me see what I can share. The speed reading program that we run. If you enroll on the program, and you book, in the next 24 hours, we'll give you a special code where you will not register with the same registration cost. Okay, here we go. Here's a special one. And I'm going to put this link in the Zoom link. Here's a special speed reading that will boost your speed and that of your colleagues at work. If you have a team that you're working with, let me get that out. Here is it. That is Joanna Lumley. Those of you that are very familiar with British television scene will have known Joanna Lumley. She is an actress, an award-winning actress. All of them had to go on the speed reading course. Okay, here. I've given you a link. If you want to enroll on this, I don't get paid by teaching it, by the way. I don't get paid. It's there. It's written on, with the program. If you're doing it on a commercial basis, they charge you $2,000 to do it. But here, we're not even asking you to pay £32 for it. We're asking you to pay half of that. Use the word Genius50. That's a promo code. So you go there now, click on get tickets like this. And then when it comes up, you put your promo, it says enter the code. You put in Genius50. And then you click on apply. See what happened. It reduces it from £32 to £16. And you get a 50% discount. Now, if you do not do it today, please don't come back and complain. We're doing it for all of you that joined this program today, and we will show you essentially how you can also use AI. This is what a killer is. This is the killer is. Get a program that gives you daily exercises to boost your speed. Let me say this slowly. AI, artificial intelligence, has capacity in the LLMs that will produce daily exercises for you, a program of reading for you, and suggested materials that you practice with until you read at 5 times your current speed. At the beginning of this program, we'll measure all of you. We'll measure all your reading speed at the beginning. We give you a body of material to read. You read it, and then we time you. And then we ask you to bring in your best material. So your best material may be reading the sports pages of the Times, or reading the entertainment pages of the Guardian, or reading, it doesn't matter, whatever you love reading. We'll ask you to bring it, and then we'll time you. And then you note it down. And then we'll do another test, and we'll time you, and you note it down. And then we'll give you exercises to do. We're not going to talk. It's a workshop. You do some exercises, and then you repeat the test, and you will see the significant difference in your reading habits. I'll show you. Please, if you have any questions, thank you. For those of you on Facebook, the Facebook people are the most active. Facebook people are most active today. I don't know why. Facebook people are the most active. Facebook Live, thank you. Chat. Okay. Please put whatever items you have for questioning. Put it here. I'm just showing you the picture. This is Anne-Marie. Anne-Marie was one of the pioneering students of the Excellence in Education program. Today, because she can speed read, the BBC now invites her to review newspapers on Sunday mornings and Saturday mornings. You've seen it. You've seen television programs, ITV, Sky. They bring in certain people to come and review the next day's newspaper. Do you know why? There's a program I run where I teach you to read 14 newspapers before 7 a.m. that morning. Listen to this. You read 14 different newspapers. 14. I got all of them. I got all of them here. Look at all of them. 14 newspapers. 14. This weekend. 14 newspapers. Let me just show you. 14 newspapers. 14 newspapers. 14 newspapers. And then you can come and discuss what you see as important, relevant, or what everyone needs to know. So can you see this? 14 newspapers to review. So you can be a reviewer. So there are many things you can use your reading skills for. It's not just for the classroom. Reading is not an academic skill, it's a life skill. If you're in any profession right now that involves writing reports and therefore reading reports, and you've ever missed any deadline, please don't blame yourself for not working hard enough. It has nothing to do with hard work. It has everything to do with working smart. It has everything to do with having the new tools, using the new technologies, using the best techniques, with an excellent tutelage and a great thinking. There are 5. I've named there 5. You got to have the right tools. You got to have the right technologies. You got to have the right techniques. You got to have the right tutelage and the right thinking. If you're able to do that, fine. If you're not, you will miss deadlines. And as a professional, that looks so bad on you. So this is why things like AI, deploying blockchain, which is modernized database, and acting digitally. Don't go analog. Then you're in trouble. If you go analog, you're in trouble. Let me show you this last thing. Oh my goodness, it's gone past the hour again. Let me show you the last thing I promised to show you was the Perplexity one. Is Young still available?
Yes, sir.
Okay, can you tell me now what your next assignment is or essay is that they've asked you to write at the university?
Okay, my next that's a project, yeah. My
Yes.
dissertation is on 10,000 words, and then submission date is on the August.
Of 10,000 words. Can everybody see me? Let me share my screen. As it's talking to me, I'm talking to my AI, and see what happens. See what happens now. So I've said project 10,000 words. Can you see it? Can you all see it's loading? Yes. Can you see my AI project of 10,000 words, right?
Yes.
10,000 words on what topic or theme?
Yeah. The topic is we've not selected a topic yet, but we'll sort that out next week.
Okay. Can you see? Do you have an area in mind that you may be researching?
Yes. I have the area I'm focusing is administrative law.
Okay. Theme
Administrative
on
law. Topic is the channel crossing of migrant.
law on cross
Border
border
migrant.
border border crossing of migrants. Okay. Now I'm going to ask it, please generate for me broad research topic or themes associated. Listen to this, because if you don't prompt it well, associated with independent research. I'm on independent research. At what level? You say at it can be undergraduate level, it can be postgraduate level, at undergraduate level, it can be GCSE level. What, it doesn't matter what level. Let's just say at undergraduate level or undergraduate level. And then look at this. I need all of you to get your stopwatch out. This is not ChatGPT, folks. This is not ChatGPT. It's better than ChatGPT.
Yeah, far better.
Okay. Now, when you click, have you got your wristwatches? Time yourself, and I'm going to count down in terms of seconds. How many seconds will it take it to give us the initial output? Let's count. 1, 2, I just clicked on it. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Less than 15 seconds. Look at what it's done. It's giving us a broad output. Look at all of this. Of the different areas, we can look at the procedure, we can look at the mechanism, we can look at technology and the border. It gives us all what we like: post-Brexit, administrative law reform, humanitarian protection. Look at it. It gives all of this. And at the end, listen to this. This is why it's impossible to fail. This is why it's impossible for your lecturer to say you plagiarize, because you are asking the questions the way that nobody else will ask. Why? Because you have had to do prompt engineering, what's called prompt engineering. The way you prompt your LLM is more important than the output, or it determines the output you get, and it's more important than you being afraid that your friends may have the same idea. Because they might be given the same task, but you will not approach it the same way. So if you're on this call and you have an A-level EPQ to do, for instance, EPQ is A-level EPQ. I'll write it now. If I am an A-level student preparing for my EPQ, please advise me on the best approach to research photosynthesis. Let's say photosynthesis. Look at what I'm doing now. Can you see what happened? Seconds again. It's giving me the best approach for researching photosynthesis for my EPQ. It tells me to define it, the question. It tells me to conduct a literature search. It tells me to look at experimental work is feasible. Look at the data. Can you see this? It's like having a teacher next to you, but this time it's 24/7. Let me move this. Okay. Now, closing remarks. I need all of you that are on this call, whether you're on Facebook or you're on Twitter or X Spaces, or you're on Clubhouse. Thank you for those of you on Clubhouse. Or you're on YouTube. It doesn't matter whether you're on YouTube or Instagram. I need you to go now to your comment section and ask any questions now, because I'm ready to take some questions now. If we run out, then I can tell you to please go straight to your comment section and type your questions, but you must end your question with a hashtag Genius Formula. Doesn't matter whether you're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Clubhouse, it doesn't matter, or YouTube. You must end it with hashtag Genius Formula. You know why? Because I have an AI that goes through all the comments and pulls out all the questions, but it will not recognize your question if you don't hashtag it. That means it comes collectively under one heading. If you hashtag it Genius Formula, it will pull it out and I'll be able to discuss it with you either now or at our next available opportunity to ask one simple question. That's what we asked today. What can AI do for you in your learning? What can AI do for you in your understanding? What can AI do for you in your studies? And if AI cannot do anything for you, the best teacher cannot do anything for you. Remember, I said one thing at the beginning. If you do not use AI in today's world, you are cheating yourself. If you copy and paste the content of AI, then that's cheating. If you use AI to generate ideas, and then you are able to write around it using LLMs with the correct prompting. If you put a lousy prompt, it'll give you a lousy output. Then you will not be as successful as I want you to be. Lastly, let me pull out what I did with Wilma a while back. Please type in your questions. Type in your questions. Let me pull out what I did with Wilma. L'Oreal. I will be able to pull out something for Wilma so that all of you can enjoy this. You really need to be able to get that. Or in fact, we can do something on EduLearn. This is another one. There's something that Anne-Marie did a while back. I think it's best I put that across to you. Okay, so let's play this for you. Let me share this with you.
I'm Macedon, and I am CEO and co-founder of STEMX. Because these industries are growing and they also solve a lot of the big problems that we have as humanity, right? So we need a lot more people
that have this knowledge, that are able to work in those jobs and are able to contribute to that body of knowledge and to new discoveries. But also we need those two perspectives as well to be able to really truly solve these problems in a way that's sustainable and that includes everybody. So that's why we need more women working within these careers. I think that the main reason why we don't have that many is because of the social norms that we seem to have, that this isn't something that women do or that it's not something that they're capable of. But you know, there's a lot around the fact that it is something that women are very capable of, and actually when women do these subjects, when they work in these industries, they do very, very well. So it's a shame that there's that perception, or it seems one way when actually the reality is quite different. So STEMettes, we're all about working with the younger generation, so girls and young women, to encourage them and inspire them into these STEM fields. And we give them real role models, and we give them real opportunities to see that it's something that they can do, but to help them act on that and actually end up in those careers and in those industries. We do a number of things. It's all interventions and events and opportunities for the girls, so whether it's school trips or mentoring or a big residential, tech house. We run all kinds of projects. All of them are always free for the girls, they're always fun for the girls, and there's always food for the girls. So that's our winning formula, and that's how we do it. But it's all about showing them role models, showing them industry, and allowing them to see themselves as people that can do well in that space. So far we've had 10,000 girls across the UK, Ireland and Europe come through our events and our organisation in the last 3 years. We've seen 5 main KPIs where we've seen improvements. So there's improvements in their awareness of what's available, there's improvements in their perception of what it is to work in STEM, improvements in their network that they have within STEM and what we call kind of science capital and their awareness of people that work in this, an improvement in their confidence in themselves to be able to perform, and lastly improvement in their knowledge as well of what's available, but also in how much of the STEM uptake that they're taking. So those are the 5 different key indicators that we're seeing improvements in. So the next steps for us, at the moment we're mainly UK and Ireland based, and we're looking to kind of be pan-European and also across Africa as well. 2 million girls is our next target that we're working towards, for them to kind of have these same interventions and have these same messages for them to learn. And we have a mobile platform, a mobile app, and loads of different opportunities for them. But 2 million is that number we're going for. Of this is it. Girls, come and join us. Come work in STEM. Come and enjoy all it is to be a STEMette. So in this, there's a big role for teachers and educators to make sure that it's not just about knowledge transfer, but it's also about motivation and inspiration alongside that, because that eases the knowledge transfer. It's almost like the sugar with the medicine of trying to, put all these principles and all these facts into these young people. So for them, the role is very much to make sure that they have a context, they have an awareness of what comes next for these students, of what the opportunities are if they choose these STEM subjects, but also that they show the creativity and the altruism that there is in working in STEM. So it's not that you only do maths and become a maths teacher, but that there's so many opportunities for you if you've studied maths, and the same with engineering, and the same with maths, with science, and the same with technology. So it's about showing the breadth of opportunities. One being that when I was about 8 years old, I had a really great teacher who taught us everything, but his specialism was maths. And so he'd allow us to come in early to school and allow us to do like maths tests and maths competition, a couple of us in the class. And for me, that was one of the moments when I realised that this is something that I could do, something that I enjoyed. And I'd actually come to school early to come and do these maths tests when I was 8. So that was one. And the second one has been, all the exams that I did really early. So for me, I did 2 GCSEs when I was 10 years old that you normally do at 16. And I did A-levels as well from 11 upwards. And I think for me, those were formative experiences because they taught me that, even though there's failure, even though, there's some questions I got wrong or some grades that I didn't like, that it's something that I can do and something that someone independently agreed that I can do, or it's that kind of confidence building experience, which is now what I try and give the girls with STEMettes, where it's you built that app. Nobody else was there, nobody else did it with you. You sat down, you built that app, it's now on your phone. So those kind of confidence building opportunities is what I try to give to the girls as well now. So as a keynote here, it's been fantastic, it's been lovely, the response was great, and it was a packed room as well, which is fantastic. So I've travelled quite fast, it's nice to be able to share the ideas with lots of people. I think I'm really impressed here with the diversity of people that I hear, in terms of roles, but also in terms of countries that they're coming from. And I think it's been really well organised as well.
Okay, so if you have any questions, this is the first time, and this is going to be the last time we'll be talking anything specifically looking at how best to move things forward. So if you are still keen, thank you for still staying on till now. We will send you a transcript of this meeting, whole transcript of the meeting, and listen to this. We will also send you the slides that we made reference to and the notes that we made reference to if you make a donation of £10 to the King's Charity and you send us a screenshot of your donation. Let me say this slowly. Everything we said today, everything we discussed for the past, wow, almost 2 hours now. Oh, well over 1 hour, well over 1 hour, well over 1.5 hours. If you think you gained anything from what we said, and then you want an audio recording or a video link and the transcripts, more importantly, all you need to do, we're giving it out for free anyway. All we need to do is for you to make a donation to a charity called the King's Trust. We will send you a link. If you just send us an email now. We showed you a slide at the beginning that had our email. Let me show you the slide again. I'll show you the slide again. We will give you the entire transcript, the entire audio, and you will not have missed anything out. So let me give this to you now. Here is it again. That's it. Send us an email saying that you were on this call with us. However, you did not catch everything, or you couldn't start with us, or you had to go somewhere before it ended, and we will gladly send you for free, 100% free. But if you want it for free, email us, and then we will send you this link to the King's Charity. There's a charity that we have endorsed over and over again, the great charity. Let me just I'll put the link to the charity in this particular event for girls, right? Not just the main charity. Please don't send the main charity and say you sent it. If you do, we will not honor pledge to you. So if you want the entire transcript, we will make it available to you immediately. Here is what you need to go to. This is the Brilliant Breakfast, where you can make a donation. I've just put it in the Zoom link. It's there. Click on that now. I want you to click on that. If you make a donation, send us proof of it to our email. Is info@theexcellenceineducation.org and not .com, please, not .com. It's .org.uk. Let me show you the slide. Show you the slide again. If you send us an email, we will guarantee that you get we'll make sure that you get the transcript and share with friends and family or people that you think might need it, because some people could not make today, because I know Saturday can be very busy. They have weddings, they have events that you go, outdoor events, you have sports. We will make sure that you get all this that we have here now, the whole recording, how a 9-year-old was able to pick up great results at primary school, was able to pass GCSEs, how an undergraduate student at 16, it is possible. I'm not trying to persuade you it's possible. You have evidence in front of you to show that it's possible. The only reason why you've not seen it is because you and the friends around you have been using the old school system. Very old school system. You will get old school result. If you use the genius formula, you get same result, genius result. And everyone will think you're a genius because the tools you're using is the ones that genius use. It's just simple. Anyone that writes the A level and doesn't get the highest marks in the country use the wrong tools or the wrong technique. Anybody that is doing undergraduate study or postgraduate study or a professional exam and you scored anything less than the highest, I'm sorry to say, it has nothing to do with your ability. It has everything to do with the tools you used. So thank you for joining us today. I'm signing off now because, again, coming up to the hour, gone half past the hour. I want to salute you for staying this long. It shows you are interested. Don't forget to send the email. We'll have it there. Send the email and we will respond to you.
Thank you very much, Professor. Thank you.
Thank you. We're counting down. 4,